we had this event now. You have the possibility in February 2017 to collect data on it, and so this wave will be finished in April, and you can have the data in late May, June. So, yeah, and again, you have all the background information. You know the political inclination of people, you know their work, their age, whatever. A lot of information you can use in your analysis. And now we're getting to exactly that lot of information. Data access. I already mentioned that our datasets are for free, they can be used without any, you don't have to pay anything. And there are two basic versions of our dataset. There is the standard version, but as you can imagine, there are variables which are very sensitive information that is sensitive, which we cannot send out. So the standard edition is the file which we send to you to use in your office here in Romania or wherever in the world you are, and it is somewhat reduced. We also have an extended edition, which again can be used without you having to pay anything to us. There are costs associated to it because you can use it only in the secure data center of GESIS in Cologne, Germany. So if you're planning vacations in Germany next year and you want to use the extended edition, no problem. Cologne is a nice city. We discussed it already. So, yeah. And yeah, the third thing we are actually still working on is the GESIS panel campus file. This is meant for educational purposes. Because at the moment we have one restriction to the academic use of our data, and that is that the access is only granted to academics starting at PhD student level. So your students cannot use our data at the moment for a master's thesis or something like that. Actually, I have to put an asterisk with that because there is a possibility, but it's also where it gets kind of complicated. So maybe if you are interested in that, just ask me later on, because yeah, I'm gonna skip that. So what would you get if you get our data? You get the whole data set, so all waves published up to that moment in one file. And this means, yeah, you can read it, about 28 submitted studies, 8 core studies, several experiments. Yeah, the other information there, I'm not going to read it. And here are just some examples of topics we have already fielded. I think it's more interesting for you if you are interested in our data. In fact, to look in the documents I'm going to mention in a moment to see whether the topic you are interested in is in there. But yeah, we have leisure and travel quality of life, for example, was one longitudinal study actually. So we have data on this kind of stuff. So this is how you can access the data. The data is stored in the GESIS archive. In German it's Datenbestandskatalog. And actually, that's what I'm going to try now. What I always say at this point, that I never had internet connection, so is if you type in Google, it should be somewhere here, just those 3 letters, those acronyms, DBK, oops, and if you can type actually, GESIS panel, then, oops, too small. It should pop up here, GESIS panel standard edition, and something should happen. Now, yeah, and you come to the correct page in the GESIS archive. And here you find a couple of documents. You find our data, which you cannot use right away because you have to sign a data usage agreement. But you find also our questionnaires. You find our codebooks, and those are documents which you can use right away. So you can have right away, excuse me, just, okay. You can have right away, without signing up for anything, a look into the documentation. Again, everything is in English, except of the measurement instruments, of course, but anything else is in English. So, yeah, and that's actually what the documents look like. We have here the study description, and you have an abstract, sure, you have the authors, and you also have the information when the data was collected. So here, this is wave CA. This means it was the first wave of last year, so February 2015. And the other important document is the codebook. That's what it looks like. Again, you find every instrument which was ever fielded in the GESIS panel. Actually, it's bilingual, so even the instrument is in English. You find the information in which data set it is included, so whether you can get it if you access the standard edition, and yeah, question type, this kind of stuff. And also, you see already the variable, of course, because after all, it's a codebook, so you see in the name that you actually can identify the variable in the data set. So those documents are living documents, which mean they grow bigger with each wave. Our codebook at the moment, for example, has something about 3,800 pages, which sounds a lot, but it has the big advantage. If you are interested in a topic, you just open the PDF, you use the search function, and you search for whichever term relates to your research topic. And yeah, another document which I don't have on the slide is also, which we provide, is also a wave report. So you have a methodological report for each single wave. And that's an important document. That is the data use agreement. You find there also as PDF. You just have to get it in and sign it, send it to us. The whole procedure is explained on the web page.
The whole procedure is electronic or on paper? I mean, you have to send actual paper. Or you can
That's actually a good, no paper. It could be that you have to scan it for a signature, but I'm not even sure about that. But that's the most. You don't have to send us a letter. So that brings me to the last point. I told you that I want to tell you something about cross-cultural research opportunities.